Let's quickly talk about credit unions that give loans to low-income borrowers. Obviously, when we talk about low income, we are speaking about minimum $1,000. Okay, so we are looking at $12,000 on a gross basis every single year. So if you're in that category, you will qualify for this credit unions. So the first one is NavyFed. NavyFed is a great credit union, and we love the fact that they are available nationally. So this is kind of cool. It's actually the largest credit union in the nation. The only thing is that you gotta have some kind of affiliation with the military to qualify for membership. But NavyFed will qualify you for a personal loan if you are making at least $1,000 on a gross basis, and you have been with the credit union for 6 months. So 6 months minimum membership eligibility. Okay, but the cool thing about NavyFed is that they have a constellation of loans. They have personal expense loans. They have home improvement loans. They have debt consolidation loans. The maximum loan amount here with NavyFed is $50,000. So $50,000. This is so good. I mean, obviously you're not going to qualify for $50,000 if you're making if you're making $1,000 on a monthly basis, but you will qualify for something. So this is still good. And what we love about NavyFed is that as you build history, as you have a great internal score with them, as you have if you have been building eligibility with them over your membership history, you will qualify for more. And the APR with a NavyFed personal loans hovers around 15 to 20%. So this is still good. Another credit union that gives loans to low-income borrowers is Conexus. So Conexus is kind of cool also. What we love the fact that Conexus is pretty flexible, and Conexus, their customer service is really responsive. As a matter of fact, if you call 1-800-845-5025 right now, somebody will pick up and they will explain everything to you. And the requirements are the same. $1,000. That's the bar for what qualifies as a low income. And so when it comes to Conexus, you also have loans that can go all the way to $50,000, and you have the repayment window can go all the way to 7 years. And with NavyFed, it's 5 to 6 years. With Conexus, it's 7 years, 84 months. So this is kind of cool. And in terms of the APR is slightly lower with the Conexus than it is with NavyFed. We have a 9.74% all the way to 18.49%, but it's still good anyway. We love the fact that with Conexus, they tend to approve you real fast. So this is fantastic. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. Make yourself comfortable. You are going to enjoy today's conversation. Another credit union that gives loans to low-income borrowers is CCU, Consumers Credit Union. And what we love about Consumers Credit Union is that they're really much more generous than the other two. And they will approve loans up to $100,000, but their threshold for a low income is $1,500 on a monthly basis, on a gross monthly income basis. So if you're making minimum $1,500 every month, you will qualify for a low income borrower loan with a CCU. And what we love about CCU is that they want you to be around with them for 1 year. So you got to be a CCU member for 1 year. You gotta be in good credit. In other words, good credit. You can have bad credit, but you got to have a good credit history with CCU. And so what we love about the CCU is that they actually provide all kinds of loans to low income borrowers. So they have what they call signature loans. And so signature loans, they also have loans for motorcycles, recreational vehicles. They have secure loans. They have secure collateralized loans, and so on and so forth. If you have any question, you want to call CCU right now at 847-837-7938. Another credit union that gives out loans to low-income borrowers is Logix. And Logix is kind of interesting because Logix actually they will give you all kinds of loans, and they will give you loans for a longer period of time. They can go all the way to 10 years. So usually they have terms up to 84 months, but in specific cases, they can go all the way to 120 months. Okay, so 84 months all the way to 120 months. So that's 7 years all the way to 10 years. So this is kind of cool. And their APRs is kind of fine also. You are looking at 11% all the way to 15%. So we love that a lot. There are no prepayment penalties, so you have flexibility there. And the only thing is that with Logix, You are geo restricted. So you have you got to be in Arizona, California, the District of Columbia, so Washington D.C., Massachusetts, Maryland, Maine, New Hampshire, Nevada, and Virginia. You got to be in that geography to qualify. Yeah, if you have any question, you can call Logix right now. The number is pretty straightforward: 1-800-328-5328, and they are available Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. through 7 p.m. Pacific, and Saturday, 9 a.m. through 3 p.m. Pacific. That's just fantastic. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about the credit unions that give loans to low-income borrowers. Another word, credit union that you'll be interested in is called Fairwinds. And so Fairwinds is a great credit union. We love that a lot. And we love the fact that with Fairwinds, they want you, Fairwinds is much more generous in terms of their eligibility criteria. Yeah, what they qualify as a low income, if you're making at least $750 per month, okay, on a gross basis, $750. So they will qualify you, not a problem. And so they offer all kinds of personal loans. They have loans for all kinds of situations. And their APRs are kind of cool too. You have APRs starting at 8.50, so we love that a lot. But you got to be a member of Fairwinds for at least 1 year to qualify for their low income borrower loan. Okay, and with similar to Logix, Fairwinds is kind of a geo restricted also. Even though Fairwinds has a slightly more availability in states. So you have Alabama, Arizona, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Florida, Georgia, Massachusetts, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Virginia, and Washington State. So this is kind of cool. And with Fairwinds, they have what they call good loan, so GOOD loan. This is kind of cool. And they also have other loans that you can qualify for. Another credit union that gives loans to low-income borrowers is a BECU. So BECU stands for Boeing Employees Credit Unions, and they want you to be with them for 9 months to qualify for their low-income loan, and they want you to make at least $1,000 on a gross basis to qualify for their low-income loans. Okay, so 9 months and $1,000 minimum. And with BCU has a pretty interesting APR, so you are looking at 9%. So this is really good, and so the 9% can go all the way to 15%. And the cool thing is that they're pretty flexible in terms of the loans that they offer. The only thing we don't like with BCU is that their loan amounts are pretty limited. Like if you were to compare BCU $30,000 maximum loan amount to $100,000, you see the delta is pretty huge, right? But BCU is pretty straightforward. If you've been with them for 1 year, you can qualify. I mean, for 9 months, you can qualify for a low income loan. You can use the loan for debt consolidation, for emergency expenses, for major expenses, for travel and leisure. I mean, you do have flexibility in terms of how you use the loan. This is kind of fine, and BCU will work with you, not a problem. If you have any question, call 1-800-233-2328, and they'll answer all questions that you have. Another credit union I want to share with you here is called Service CU. So Service is kind of cool. I mean, this is another military credit union, and what we love about Service is that they can approve you real fast. And if you're making at least $1,000 on a monthly basis, gross basis, so that's $12,000 on a yearly basis, they will qualify you, not a problem. And so you are looking at $50,000. That's the maximum loan amount. And we also love the fact that with the Service, you are able to enjoy quick approvals. You have flexible terms. There is no application fee, so this is kind of cool. What we love about Service is that not only do you have to be military, but you also have the ability to have like if you have been with them for 3 months. So they're not asking you for 1 year membership. For 3 months, and you're making at least $1,000 on every month, you can qualify for a low income loan, not a problem. Okay, and so when we talk about personal loans with Service, you can use the loan for all kinds of purposes: vacation, travel. This is really good. Medical bills, debt consolidation, auto repairs, moving costs, wedding costs, and more. So That's what we love a lot. We love it when credit unions are pretty flexible in terms of the use of loan proceeds. They're not really restricting you to use the loans in a specific way, shape, or form. So this is kind of cool because the borrower in the end has flexibility. So we love that a lot. And the thing is that the good thing is that with service, if you don't qualify for any reason for the personal loans, maybe for your credit, because of your credit or because of your financial situation overall, you could qualify for a personal line of credit. Okay, so basically you have funds that you can tap into based on your needs. This is with the line of credit, you have more flexibility than a personal loan vis-a-vis the credit union. And you also have what they call the energy efficiency loans. So a service also offers that. So this is kind of cool. So overall, you are looking at maximum. We are talking about $50,000 and APRs that hovers around 8.5 all the way to 14%. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about credit unions that give loans to low-income borrowers. Another credit union that gives loans to low-income borrowers is UniFi. So UniFi is not really that known, but they are very generous too. And so they give personal loans. So they want you to make at least $1,000. They want you to be with them for 15 months. So 15 months before qualifying for their loans. And their low-income loans, you can qualify for a loan amount that goes from $500 all the way to $50,000. So you can see the delta is pretty huge. Okay. And the cool thing is that you have additional rates that are available from 12 months all the way to 84 months. So this is really good. I mean, when you think about it, you have a credit union that will qualify you if you're making at least $1,000 every month. And basically you are able to qualify for 1 year. I mean, a repayment window that goes from 1 year all the way to 7 years. So this is kind of cool. And what we love about UniFi is that on their website, they have a payment calculator that can really helps you have a clear idea of how much you can expect to pay every single month. So UniFi is kind of similar to service in the sense that if you don't qualify for a personal loan, they will consider you for a signature line of credit. So a signature line of credit has a similar similar eligibility criteria, but they're more flexible. So here you are looking at the credit limits that go from $1,500 all the way to $50,000. You know, when you compare that with the $500 to $50,000 that you have with a loan, that's a big difference. Okay, and you can use a signature line of credit at UniFi for overdraft protection. You have a variable rate line of credit. You can take advantage of a 0.25% discount for automatic payments through a UniFi share account. So this is kind of cool, and so this is really great. So overall, you have a pretty flexible lender. What we also love with UniFi is that you have a debt consolidation loan also that's available to you. So here the payment terms are pretty similar. You are looking at loan amount that go from $500 all the way to $50,000. So pretty great in terms of the overall offer here. And another credit union that gives loans to low-income borrowers is Alliance. So Alliance is kind of cool also in terms of how much they will qualify you for. And especially we love the fact that Alliance is very, very, very generous. So Alliance will consider you for loans that go from $1,000 all the way to $100,000. And Alliance actually will look at your application if you are making at least $1,000 on a monthly basis, and that's gross, okay? But they want you to be with them for at least 1 year to qualify for their personal loans. And this is really good. And so there is a possibility to pre-qualify for personal loans through Alliance. So this is really, we love that a lot. And so you can use the money for all kinds of situations, for loan consolidation, for personal emergencies, for home expenses, for medical expenses, and so on and so forth. And there is no collateral required. So we are speaking about unsecured personal loans. This is really good. And the loan amounts here, the loan amounts range from $1,000 all the way to $100,000. So you can see there's a huge delta here, $1,000 all the way to $100,000. and the terms actually run from 1 to 5 years. So you are looking at 1 to 5 years, and so you also have typically a same-day deposit into your account. So this is kind of cool. Or if you want, you can just have Alliant mail a check to you if you prefer. Not a problem. There are no prepayment penalties, and so you also have the ability to customize the APR based on the repayment window that you choose. For example, if you go for 12 months, you have an APR that goes from that actually hovers around 11.29%. If you go for 24 months, the APR is the same. If you go for 48 months, then the maturity actually goes a little further. So the APR will actually go up to account for the increased risks. So the APR will hover around 13.29%. And if you go to 60 months, the APR will hover around 13 to 14.29%. So you can see that when it comes to Alliance, you have flexibility, but most importantly, you have the ability to tap into a larger amount. So this is fantastic. The last institution, credit union, that gives out loans to low-income borrowers is Credit Human. So Credit Human is pretty interesting. Also, we love Credit Human. What we love about Credit Human is that they don't have a limit, like an upper limit to how much you can borrow, but we know the lower limit is $500. And so Credit Human will qualify you if you are making at least $750 on a gross basis every single month. So this is really good, $750, and they want you to be with them for 6 months before qualifying for a low income loan. And we love the fact that with Credit Human, you have terms up to 72 months. This is really good. You also have so 72 months, that's 6 years, but you also have the ability to extend that repayment window based on your history with them. And Credit Human also has a line of credit, so this is kind of cool in terms of giving you flexibility in your finances. So you are able to borrow anytime up to your pre-approved limits. So we love that a lot. And so this is really good. And so with Credit Human, you have the ability to also extend whenever you want on a monthly basis. And it's one of those things where you have to see what really works for you. And one thing I want to say here is that you always want to contact a Credit Human first to have a conversation about what really what could be possibly great for you. They have something called signature loans, and they will adapt the signature loan based on your situation. So the APR, once again, will vary based on your repayment window, and also the amount that you want to borrow. But overall, we have seen in our research that repayment window goes from 1 to 5 years, and the APR will oscillate between 10% all the way to 18%, and this is pretty interesting. And Credit Human also has they also have a line of credit for borrowers. So if you're not interested for any reason, if you're not interested or you don't qualify for a personal loan, you could actually consider a line of credit. And a line of credit is kind of interesting in terms of the availability. And so in addition, you also have what they call Q Money Loan. So Q Money Loan is actually a short loan, but here you are able to borrow anywhere from $100 all the way to $500, and you have about 2 months to repay. But this is not a huge amount. But hey, listen, you have possibilities with the Q Money. This is really fantastic. Thank you so much for your attention. Really appreciate it. Into this conversation, I was just talking to you about the credit unions that gave loans to low-income borrowers. So let's quickly do a recap here. So you have Navy Fed, you have Conexus, you have Consumers Credit Union, you have Logix, you have Fairwinds, you have BECU, you have Service Credit Union, you have UniFi, you have Alliance, and finally you have Credit Human. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.